Hey, everybody. How are you doing on this evening? Sorry about that. That was so weird right there, that intro. But hey, we all popped up and we're all here ready to share this wonderful presentation. And so I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Fonz and part of here of Global GG. And I'm happy to be joined here actually doing this presentation with my next door neighbor over here. All right.
Hi. So glad that you're here today joining us. I'm so excited to share some of the things that we've been doing and how we got here, I guess, is what we're going to talk about.
Exactly. And then we've got a special guest down here, right here.
Right?
I'll let him introduce himself. Who are you, young man?
I don't know what I'm doing here. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I just popped in to say hi, and suddenly I'm on screen. But
Too late, you're on it.
here we are. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, I'm Abid Patel. I'm one of the founders at Global GG, and if anything, I'm honored to be around Fonz and Melissa, who are two amazing educators. So and you guys are doing such inspiring things. And yeah, I thought it was late for me, but seeing Pilly there in the chat, it's 2 a.m. in
Yeah,
Italy.
that's right. 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy. But as always, it's always great to have Abid here and everybody supporting from Global GEG. Thank you, Filomeno, for joining us all the way from Italy as well. Thank you. Hey, it's Brooke. Brooke is here. Hey, be out the box. Yo, what's up?
I
Love
know.
it. And Rick is here. So we've got some great friends, great connections that are here. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And Melissa, what are we going to be talking about today? Tell our audience and our guest members and everybody who may be listening to this later on as well. What are we doing today?
Well, I'm glad you asked because you're here today because we're going to share stories and,
Right.
have you ever thought about like, how can I connect with others out there, who think like me? Because you think for a while you live in your own box and people look at you and they're like, how can you do that? Why are you doing that? Like, we're going to show you how you can connect with people who think like you so that way you're not feeling that way. So we're going to share our journeys with you and get you some connections and hopefully you can find your EdTech tribe too, just like we did.
Awesome. So actually just another little backstory here. Melissa and I actually presented this. We did the same presentation for TCA and IdeaCon this last week. And Melissa was telling me, because I didn't get to see any of the feedback, but just the stories that Melissa was sharing. And then some of the comments that came up on Twitter and everything with people just being able to relate to our journeys, to our stories, of being able to connect and the things that we've been able to do through the power of connections. So it's just been great. And so we're just very excited that you guys are here joining us today. And I want to definitely thank Melissa, for inviting me to come along this journey, because if it wasn't for this journey and the connections that we've made, Melissa and I would have never known each other, and much less Abid and everybody at Global GEG, and being part of this a wonderful group of connected educators. So we're definitely very excited to share our journey, our passion, and just want to encourage you to continue to do the same. So we're definitely excited, right, Melissa?
Yes, we are. And if you notice, see the playground up there, because it's been a great community to get connected with, to learn from people like, I would have never met Abid had it not been for GEG Global, because, I don't think I'll ever have a trip to London. I mean, I want to go now and I'm going to go visit you maybe one day. But this organization just has been wonderful. It helped me through some things I was going through. I had friends to chat with, to push me, to make me do things that I thought I'd never do, like live shows. When I first did one, I was like, I'll just sit back. I was nervous, but that really helped me build that confidence and comfortable being live. So thank you, Abid.
Oh, and
I haven't done anything. It's you guys who I just turn up and scream at the top of my voice and shout all sorts of 4-letter words. being A, B, I, and D. But
Oh, see, Brooke says you need to come to Texas.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So we're definitely excited again. Just for all of you joining us, please make sure to tell us where you're coming from, where you're joining us from. Drop your Twitter handles, because this is the place to make those connections, to
Yes.
grow your PLN. And then in case you ever want to partake in any of the parts of our journey that we're going to discuss, as far as level 1, certified educator, level 2, trainers and innovators, then you have somebody that you can reach out to, contact, and ask questions. And more than anything, if we don't know the answer to it, Melissa will definitely refer you to somebody that can help. That's for sure.
Yes, we definitely can. That's for sure.
All right. So, Melissa, let's go ahead and get started then, don't you think?
All right, let's get started. Okay. So, like we said, Alfonso and I have connected through GEG Global. And we both just went through the Google Certified Innovator Program, the quarantine version, as my friend says, because it is. She said that. I was like, you're right. I did go to the quarantine version. But that's how we connected. We both applied. We both joined GEG at the same time. I mean, it's so neat to have these connections, because like I can just call Alfonso. We've never met in person, and Avid, we've never met in person either. But like if I saw you, like first thing I'd do is give you a hug, because I love to give hugs. But what is she? It's real folks. It is real folks. Yes. And so like when people say like it's hard to make a connection online, that can't happen. It can. And I can witness it. It can happen. I have best friends all over the world. So that's what I feel like.
Exactly. And just like Melissa said, I can't echo that and stress that enough, that if it wasn't for this group of people, these wonderful educators that are passionate, that come in from actually all sorts of backgrounds in education, not just educators in the classroom, but you've got like Abid, who's here joining us, who's coming from an IT perspective, as far as being an IT director. And that's something that is amazing to hear also as well, that you've got educators that are just passionate, people that work in education that we're connecting with from all over the world. And I think like Melissa said, this has become our family, our extended global family, where we can reach out and either through a message, through a tweet, through any which way, shape, or form, we get a response to maybe a question that we have, and they're always there to back you up and to help you in any which way. So it's just been amazing. It's been an amazing experience, thanks to our innovator journey, which we will talk to you a little bit about. But as you can see us here on the screen, we've got my lovely friend, Melissa Summerford. So you can follow her at Summerford Stars on Twitter. And then, of course, you've got myself here that you can follow me on at Tech Teacher 1381. And so let's go ahead and get into this, Melissa. So we're going to start off with my friend Melissa here.
So, when you first start, that's me, curly hair and all. That was my first grade school picture, and my mom's like, "Don't mess up your hair." And of course, I didn't listen to that. I was on the playground, and my hair got all messy like that. But so if I talk about like some of those people in that picture, those are the people who kind of pushed me to keep going. I never thought I was going to be a Google certified innovator. Like I used to see those people on Twitter. I was like, I can't do that. But, but something inside me is like, why not? Why can't you do that? So, throughout my whole like journey and experience, I had like people who like pushed me. I went to school later in life. I was 26 when I decided to go back to school. I had 2 babies, and then I even had my 3rd baby along the way. The whole time I was going, I was like, I can't do this. So I was constantly telling myself that I couldn't do it, but I was still doing it. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but so I had the picture at the bottom. Those are my 2 like admins. Like I developed like a close relationship with the the teachers that I worked with, that stood behind me and pushed me and like, Melissa, you can do this. Have you thought about doing this? And they'd always put this little bug in my ear, Kelly and Jenny. So they've been my good friends, and they really helped me along the journey going. My husband, all those nights of going to night school when I just wanted to give up. Family was very big support system as well. And then, my friend Brooke and Amy, like when I first got my level 1, that was a struggle. I'll tell you about my story later on that. But Brooke's like, you can do it. Come on, let's go take a level 2. I was like, no, I can't do it. And then she's like, you're going to do trainer. I was like, no, I can't. And then even when I called Amy and Brooke, I said, I got trainer. And Amy's like, okay, we're going to dinner. And that's what that picture is. We went out to dinner to celebrate. So they were there cheering me on throughout that way. And my friend Chantel, like, when you have those people that support you and keep you going, that does really make a difference, having a good support system. And, this is where it all first started off. This is the people that are near me all the time. But then I have GEG Global. We have this channel that we're a part of. If there's anything like we need, we're constantly like helping each other through Twitter, through the channel. If I have something that, my friends ask me at work, or I'm like, let me just go ask my friends. But I always give credit where credit is due. I never say I did it. So I always share where I got it from, just like Avid. Like, I could ask him. He's a tech director. I got him. All I have to do is do this. And it's 1:00 in the morning. Look, and Avid's here. He always answers, and he's always there to support us and anything. It's really amazing how it gives me goosebumps just thinking about this. And like, I cannot believe like this group that I have been able to be a part of. And it's because my friends at Fry Technology who said, hey, Melissa, do you want to be GEG leader? I was like, okay, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to say yes. And then Stephanie gets an email. Do you want to join Global? Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to say yes. Just being uncomfortable and then just going for it. That's pretty much it.
And that's what it's all about. Like you said, I think one of the things that resonated with me was that last sentence, that last comment you made, is just really going out there and putting yourself out there. I mean, and that's what it's all about. And I think a lot of people, they miss out on so many great opportunities because they're scared to put themselves out there.
Scared to fail.
Exactly. All right. So let me give you guys a little background of myself. I did grow up an only child, so I don't have too many pictures of anything else other than my parents, my wife, and my podcasting picture. And there's a gentleman right here that you see up here in the corner who is pretty much oftentimes actually, I don't want to say an unsung hero because I do mention him a lot, but if it wasn't for this particular person and the advice that he gave, I wouldn't be where I'm at today as far as being a connected educator and getting to meet just a wonderful group of innovators. And I'm just not talking about Google innovators. I mean, everybody that I've been able to connect with is just somebody that has been very innovative and has been very important to my practice as well as a professional and even personally as well, because I get to learn from everybody. I love to hear their stories, and that's what I'm passionate about, just learning from others as they share their experiences. So really who I am is just I'm a hometown, Rio Grande Valley born, bred here in the United States, right in the border of Mexico. So I get to speak. I love that I get to speak Spanish and English, and I get the best of both worlds. Thanks to my loving parents who you see here that are supporting the podcast, the My EdTech Life podcast. Those are their sweaters there. And, if it wasn't for what I got to see them do as I was a child, I mean, it was something that really is still ingrained in myself. It's made me who I am. The hard work that they've put forth to give me the best life that I can get and do the best that I can is because of them, and seeing their hard work and their determination to always tell me, you need to work so that you're better than us, so you don't have to work as hard as we do, so you don't have to work out in the fields in the sun, so you don't have to go and do what we're doing right now. And because of them, I'm thankful for giving me that work ethic of always wanting to strive for more. And then of course my beautiful wife that I'm just so excited about, that God gave me a beautiful, amazing wife that is my support, who always backs me up in all of the craziness and in all my 10x thinking. She's always there behind me, 100%. And that means definitely so much to myself. And of course, Micah Shippey, right there, that man, Google innovator, he is the one that was gave me the best advice when innovator application opened up, and he pretty much just reached out to me after I failed to make it to NYC 19, which was my first application, and he contacted me just on Twitter out of the blue, and I was like, whoa. And we talked, and he said, go on Twitter, search hashtag Google EI, and whoever pops up, I don't care if you don't know them, you just click follow, and you follow every single one of them. And you make sure you reach out to them because they're going to be there to help. And the best advice I ever got, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to meet Melissa, going through our journey. But of course, the founding members of Global GEG, which are Steph R, Steph H, Abbott, Leslie, Luis, and Bonnie. And actually, let me just pull up here, of course, our team. That way you can see everybody here. And then, of course, being connected with all of these wonderful leaders from all around the world. I mean, you'll see some familiar faces here because some of them are doing some amazing things in technology. But if it wasn't for that advice that I got from Micah and being able to reach out and connecting with others, I wouldn't have the opportunity to be here today. So I'm definitely thrilled, happy, and blessed to be here with you guys today. Melissa, let's talk a little bit about a little something here that we all know about.
I remember, Avid, you talking about this, like in some of our meetings when we would get together on Sundays, or when we would just say, hey, we're on a meet, who can join? And people would just come in. And we talk about this. And Avid started saying the imposters. I was like, wait a minute. Is that what that's called? And I was like, it has a name, because I know Maria said, like, I never seem nervous. Oh my gosh, I want to throw up every time before I'm supposed to come on. And when I start doing things, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? Like, I think that all the time. I started doing like PD for Bride Technology when I was a teacher, doing that in the summer. And every time I'd come home, I was like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do it anymore. That just made me sick. Just preparing and planning, like it just kept making me sick. I was like, I'm not good enough. Why are people going to listen to me? What do I have that they can't hear from someone else? I kept thinking that I wasn't good enough. This is not going to work. And I wanted to quit so bad several times. I never told Brooke this, but now she knows. but I kept pushing myself, and then I joined GG and I became more confident. It is. I mean, this group really did help me feel that way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And, first meeting Leslie, I think Leslie was one of the first leaders of Global GG that I met, along with Abbott, because they started the chats. And I would go in there and just being very nervous because it was, wow, Google innovators. And then, of course, you get a room full of people that are all aspiring to apply for the Innovator Academy. And then you're like, well, that narrows down my chances to and so you kind of start doubting yourself and thinking like, am I really worthy? Am I really that good? Do I really have anything to offer? And then that starts setting in, and like you said, it's like the imposter syndrome. That's the first time I ever heard that phrase, was through these meetings. But it was always in the back of my mind, just being able to hear the stories such as Abbott and many other innovators talking about imposter syndrome. And then that kind of made me feel like, okay, I'm not the only one that has gone through this, and they themselves have gone through it. So, and look at where they're at now. So it's not something that you can't overcome, but it's something that you really have to battle with each and every day, because even in our professional work setting, you may feel like, oh man, like I'm not at that level, or I'm not, but it's always just having the mentality of, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet, but eventually I can be, and I will be, and maybe I may even supersede that, that goal or that level. So it was just something, great to be surrounded by other people that shared their stories, the way they overcame. And it was encouraging to myself. And I know even to Melissa, because even at times we would communicate with one another saying like, oh my gosh, like, are you sure we're doing this right? Like,
I
what are
know.
you
I
going
just
to
had to
do?
pick up the phone and call Alfonso. I was like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah. And she'd just pick up the phone and we'd just be talking and just talking and just trying to talk, like psych ourselves up and say, okay, no, we can do this.
Yes.
Like, we can do this. We can do this. We got this, but as we went through our application process, being able to reach out and the very first person that I reached out to that gave me time and actually we had like an interview was Steph Rothstein. And Steph Rothstein has been just amazing. I can't thank her enough for taking the time and that shared with me and showed me not only the kind of person that she is, but the kind of people that I've been lucky enough and Melissa and Abbott and all of us are surrounded with people that are definitely genuinely caring and genuinely want to
Yes.
help. And so I remember sitting
Mhm.
there and taking copious notes. I mean, Stephanie is just there sharing, and I'm just typing away, like pretty much like word for word everything that she was saying because I didn't want to miss a thing because
You're right.
I wanted to know everything that I had to know.
You see,
But do you remember
when
too, Alfonso? Like,
go
go ahead,
on.
Abbott. Go ahead.
I was just going to say when Les started the innovator open chats, we were just coming off the 2019 cohorts, and having gone through that experience and exactly what you've just said about the imposter syndrome, just we all felt that. Leslie said in the chat there, she was she was so nervous because she felt like there was an upper age limit. I felt nervous because I wasn't a teacher, and it's those kind of silly things. Even when you're in when we were in the room with 36 other people, and it was like all of them are so much better than I am, and they deserve to be here. And what am I doing here? I'm a fake. And then every one of them is thinking the same thing, and you just don't realize it. And the advice we gave was just everyone is doing amazing things out there, and the fact that you are here, you don't understand all of the hurdles you've overcome to get here. And I think that's the most important piece, is being able to just celebrate the fact that you've got there, and you're there on merit. You're not there because you got lucky. You're not there because you faked it till you made it. It's you've been doing awesome things, and you deserve to be there just as much as anyone else.
Man, it still feels unreal. I remember telling you, Abbott, we were waiting on results coming in, and I remember saying, you know what? Even if I don't get it, I think I got what I want. All I wanted to have was a connected group, and Gigi is giving me that. So I got to the point where it was like, if I don't get into the innovator program, I'm okay, because this is what I wanted. I wanted to have this connected group. But then I did get in, and I was like, oh my gosh, the day it happened, I remember, like, I was working, and I started seeing these messages. Melissa, did you check your email? Melissa, I was like, no, what? And then I checked my email, and I was like, wait, that's a mistake. And then the people in the chat were saying, we knew before you. You didn't even check your email. And it's
I
weird the
remember
way I completely forgot about it that day.
I remember the London 19 announcement day. That day, it was so obviously innovator traverses time zones, and so we were like, today's the day of the announcement, but what time is the announcement going to be? And all of us who'd applied, we were on Twitter all day. I'll tell you what, none of us did any work that day. We were just there tweeting and refreshing our Gmail. And finally, like, I sat down at 6 o'clock and I just thought to myself, oh, you know what, whatever time it comes in, or I might not even get in now because I haven't heard it. It's now 6 o'clock in the evening. And then suddenly you got that email in your inbox, and you're like, and I was just like running around like a maniac. Oh, I got in.
I know. I was crying. I was like, I can't believe I'm crying.
And I mean,
So
the same thing. Like that's the way I heard. I had just finished a training with our staff, and then I opened up my email, and just jumped for joy. I was so happy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like my wife is my witness. I was bawling. I was bawling because it to me it was one of the biggest accomplishments that had ever been afforded to me, and to think that you are part and you became part of something so special. And like Abbott said, based on merit, based on your thinking, your outside the box thinking. And sometimes, like you said, it's that fear of really shooting for the moon, and thinking like, man, people must think you're nuts. And then all of a sudden people get you, and they see your idea, and they see your vision. I was bawling. I think I must have been crying for maybe about 15 minutes straight, but like literally not just like just bawling, but bawling I felt like I was a little kid, but I was so happy and overwhelmed because it really was something that I had been wanting so bad, and I know that, Rick, applied several times over, and until he got in. And that inspired me too, like saying, hey, I didn't get in this year, and then the second year I tried and was able to get in. And but again, it's just having that support system. And like you said, Melissa,
yes,
even if we wouldn't have made it, I mean, the fact that we are connected to a wonderful group as
we
Global
have our
GEG is,
tribe.
we
Mhm.
have those connections and the people, and that we love. And so now we get to share our successes with them, because essentially our success becomes their success as well, because we're all connected. And that's the one thing that I love.
Mhm. Exactly. And that's that power of connection. It's not about like, oh, hey, I'm an innovator. It's about that struggle and that journey that took you to get there. When you want something so much that you think that you cannot get, like you think like that's out of limits, and then they like accept you. It's just that acceptance that it just makes you like cry, because you're like, what? Like, I was just trying. I didn't think they were really going to accept me. But
Yes.
it's that's what it is. It's about that journey getting there. When you keep, that was my third time applying, just because I was like, dang it, I'll keep going until they see Melissa and they're like, we just got to let her in, you know? But, but it all goes back to like your childhood. Everything has always been a struggle for me, and I remember in high school, I wanted to be a cheerleader so bad. I tried out and I didn't make it. I was so devastated. My mom's like, are you gonna be okay? I was a sophomore, didn't make it. That next year, like, I pushed myself. I was doing flips in the backyard. I was learning on my own. I was practicing. I was doing jumps. The next year, I tried out again, and then I finally made it. But like, I didn't give up, because when you're in high school, it's tough in high school, and it's embarrassing because you have to try out in the gym in front of everybody, and people know when you don't make it. So, like, it's just that not giving up. And I'm so glad I failed that first time, because that's what
Yeah.
kind of, when you fail at something, like, you want it more, and that pushes you to keep like, no, they said I couldn't have it. I'm going to have it eventually.
Yeah.
It's all your experience. The older I get now, the puzzles coming together, like the pieces are fitting together, like everything happens for a reason, because that's what grows you.
Exactly. And I agree with you as far as that experience from childhood. I mean, growing up an only child, uh, I kind of, when I reflect on this, I always see that,
Hey,
when I would meet friends, that they would have, brothers and sisters and just a big family. Like, I was like, man, I like this feeling of being part of like a big group and everything. So, you know, it's almost the same thing here with Innovator. It's like you want to be part of something special, like a special family, your extended family. And I think that, like you said, a lot of things comes from childhood. And I think for me, it was just that, growing up an only child, I always wanted to be part and have brothers and sisters and have people like, I always said, man, if I could have had an older sister that was wiser, like, and that would just walk me through and share things with me and help me out, that I would love that. And now I mean, look at that. I have global brothers and sisters that I can reach out to at
From
any
all over, and
time.
now I have places to go. Like I want to go to Italy. I'm going to go to Australia. I'm going to go
Yeah.
to London. I
Yes.
told my boss, and I don't even want to call her boss, my leader. I told her, I was like, "Are we going to get any jobs in London or Paris?" And she was like, "Paris, Texas, maybe." I was like, "What? No, I want to go to Paris. We're global."
All right. Well, let's talk
So
about connecting. Let's talk about people and
yes.
just share with people that may want they're wondering. It's like, okay, I want to connect. Where is it that I would start? So, Melissa, if I came to you and say, hey, you know what? I love what you're doing. How can I get connected? What's the most at the most basic level? What would I be able to do, or what should I do?
Well, it started for me getting on Twitter and just going and finding those people who inspire you. But Abbott's the expert on this. Like he's the one who started it. He and Stephanie and the whole like wonderful group that did this, like they're the ones who had this brilliant idea to start this. So you tell us, Abbott, you tell us how you did it and why.
Honestly, London 19 was in what, July 2019, and at that time I'd never heard of Geg before. Never heard of Gegs. Didn't know what Gegs were. Didn't connect with one in any way whatsoever. And they talked about it at the academy, and then afterwards, I heard that the GG UK. I think all of the GGs were quite affected by the shutdown of Google Plus, and the communities kind of started to fall apart. And I think that's what it was. Is that experience of Innovator made us want to have that connection again. For us, it was that 3 days, and then everyone went home, and we all went back to work the following on the following Monday, and it's like, I just want to be in that room of that those people who are like super super passionate. I want to be with my tribe, and so we were looking at ways to sort of get together, and so that's why we reached out to all the to the teams at Google and said, like, who's running the local GG, and a few of us connected with our GGs. I connected and ended up becoming the leader of GG UK, and Steph H and Steph R and Bonnie and Leslie and Luis, they all became GEG leaders in their own right in their communities, and then we started collaborating together, and hardly any of us, aside from Steph R and Bonnie, have met in person, and so we literally collaborated through Twitter, and then it was kind of like, I have no idea what I'm doing with GG UK, and I'm not a leader, and what should I do? And we band together because it's like, well, we need to celebrate Google products, and so it doesn't matter if you're in Texas running a session on Classroom and I'm in London running a session on Gmail. It's the same product, and so why don't we just do it together? And so we started to cross promote sessions and present at each other's sessions, and then suddenly it became a point of, when after COVID kicked in, it's like, look, we're all trying to train up our teachers, and we're all doing these sessions, and it's like, why are we repeating? So let's all get together and just let's do it. And then so we do a session and put everyone's GEG icon, a logo on the bottom, and it's like the poster became ridiculous because it just had more GEG logos than the actual poster content, and it's just like, oh, you know what, let's just call it Global GG, and then it kind of just kicked off and stuff. But I mean, we never imagined how it would just build out like it did, and it's been phenomenal. The just look at the Global GG YouTube channel, the amount of content that is at one point during the first lockdown, we were almost like a 24-hour channel.
We were, yes, you're right.
There were sessions going on night and day, and all I would say to new people is, there are so many GGs doing so many active things. I mean, for all horrible COVID was, it's really pushed GGs into the forefront, and connect with your local GGs. There's groups on Twitter. There's the Google group. There's the Facebook group. Connect on follow them on Twitter, and then join those groups, and just get talking, just get involved in the conversation. If you've got any
Exactly.
questions about anything at all, just ask the question, and someone there will help. And then if you feel confident enough, and ultimately hardly any of us were confident enough to run these type of live streams, and look at us now, we're all doing it. And you can be on that journey. Just get involved and just go out there and take those leaps.
You're
Yeah.
right. And we learn so much from each other. I remember, Abbott, you helped me set up my domain. Now, can I do it on my own? Probably not, but you helped me. But you took the time. It was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning where you're at. But you and Louise like helped me build
Yes.
that. Like you didn't even know me. You got on and you helped me. I've learned so many skills from you all. Louise and his amazing sheets that he makes. I learned some skills from him, even how to do StreamYard and all of these skills, I was able to take to my new position because y'all were with me when I was struggling. Do I leave education? Do I not leave? And you're like, you just need to take a leap and go. And so, yes, so now I'm getting to do like my dream job now, which I never thought was possible, but I always wanted to do. So I'm getting to do my dream job and teach PD to teachers, and I absolutely love it with my and we're friends, we're family. I just love my Fried Technology group.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's amazing. Like you said, it's just having that power connection. And here on Google, you can find GEG. You can find Google Educator Group, and like we showed you the map. I mean, look at where all the GEGs are, and there's probably more that are probably not here yet. But I mean, if you go here, you can find anything local, that to your area, and just start making those connections. That take to Twitter as well. Take to the Facebook group. I think we have the link here to the Global GEG Facebook group also that you can join. And of course, you can follow the GEG program, also the GEG program on Twitter as well. And then you can just start making those connections, reaching
Mm-hmm.
out to people in your area. And like Melissa said, I mean, to be able to reach out to, here now our GEG family, and at any time, like Pili, right now, we shared a message, sometimes we may not be feeling our best. We just need somebody to talk to. And the fact that we can send each other a message and say, hey guys, like, I just really need a chat. And somebody's like available and they're there and willing to help, whether it's just listening, whether it's sharing advice, or, hey guys, is anybody else having issues with their internet at their district? Oh yeah, I am. Okay. And then that way you can go ahead and just tell your CTOs and say, hey, yeah, it's a global issue. Don't
I
worry. We
know
got
you
this
feel
taken
like,
care
oh,
of.
I know this. I got it from my
Exactly.
friends.
It's like, I got this. Don't worry, So things of
It
that
is
sort.
amazing.
So yeah, so make sure that you connect with Global GEG, because I love what Melissa put here, making the world a smaller, better place, because they truly do. Every single person that is there, is always willing to help. And I think that's what we really want you to understand, that although you may see many innovators that are here and they're doing some amazing things. I mean, we've got in the group, we've got authors, we've got people that they're publishing articles pretty much, it seems like, on the daily or in the weekly. You've got people that have the IT background, you've got people with all sorts of different backgrounds that some people may feel like, well, no, I don't want to ask. These are the nicest
Mm-hmm.
people that
And
you
we
can
have
reach out to.
teachers. We have teachers who are teaching. If you have an idea and you want to bounce it off of a teacher, we have those in there too.
Yeah, and everybody is so humble. I mean, because we all share the same story. I mean, we all worked hard to get where we're at, and we know where we come from. We know who we serve, which is a global educator community. That is who we're trying to serve. And we're always going to be either a DM away, instant message away, whatever, a text away, a Slack message away. We will always be there to
Hey, but
help.
let's be real. Sometimes we argue, right?
I
Like
don't. I
iced
don't.
tea or hot tea. I say iced tea. Abbott
Oh,
says hot tea.
biscuit. Is it a biscuit? Is it a cookie?
It's
Beans on
iced tea.
toast?
I mean, tea I can get away with. The microwave tea, no,
Is it? Is it?
but
What
we
was
have
it?
to admit, the argument that is the argument of all arguments is list view versus grid view,
Oh,
and
that's right.
and of course list view is the only way. Anything to defeat Stephanie Howe for sure, but yeah.
Grid view. I'm with Stephanie. Grid view. I got to see the pictures. I'm a visual person.
Yeah. But definitely, like, I mean, we're here to share, just to get inspired. And as you can see here, Melissa put up, some of inspirational posts that you'll see here from all of the activities and all the members that just brings so much. And especially, I want to give a shout out to Kat, Kat, who started the staff room, on as a place for educators to go and just simply vent and talk and share. We don't even talk ed tech. Sometimes maybe very slightly, maybe some questions, but it's just about connecting and just reaching out to people and just say, hey, you know what, I'm feeling rubbish today, and you just go and visit, and there's always somebody there to help you and listen and give a kind ear and a kind message, some advice, and they build you up. They build you up, and then you leave there feeling great because and that's the best part about it. I mean, somebody's always there to listen, and that's what I love. So big shout out to Kat for doing that. And then of course
Yes.
we've got the inspirational posts too. Like, I mean, look at that smile right there on that guy, NYC 19
Oh,
Rick.
he's so awesome. Rick is amazing. He's funny. So funny.
He's very funny. He's great. He's always willing to help. And, one of the best people that I know also as well, from actually everybody there in the group, is amazing at everybody brings something to the table that collectively as a whole, it just, it's a machine, yeah, and that's the best part, that we all offer something different, a unique perspective, but everybody, you get that psychological safety where you can share
Mm.
your ideas, but it's people that understand your ideas and your
And
vision,
and
where
they
some
matter though. No
yeah,
idea is a dumb idea. Like it matters. Like your idea matters. So you feel safe, you
yeah,
know?
and that's the great part about being part of this group as well. And so, Melissa, here, tell us a little bit about this slide here.
Well, this is where it all started for me. Going through and getting those certified educator certificates. It's really not about getting the badge. It's about what you grow and learn throughout the badge. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be transparent. I took level 1. I did not pass. I was devastated. I was like, I thought I knew Google. I said, well, then I guess I'm not good enough. I got back. I fell into that rut again. But then I was like, nope. I went home and I studied, and then 14 days later, I took it when I could. 14 days later, I went to the library. I was like, my internet, if it cuts out, I don't need it to cut out. I went to the library, retook it, got certified, and I was like, almost felt like Forrest Gump, like through this journey. Like, I've gone this far, I might as well keep going. And so my friend Brooke kept pushing me along the way. She's like, nope, you can do it. You're going to train with us. You need your trainer. I was like, no, I can't do it. Brooke pushed me throughout the whole way. And then that last one, I was like, I already got 3. I might as well keep going. That last one, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to just complete the process. I need all 4 now. I need all 4. And then it became like a challenge.
Yeah, well,
But yes, you can. And
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, that's something great, where you just accomplish one thing, and you take it one level at a time, one step at a time. And like Melissa said, it sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes, you may go through that and you may fail, but it's all in the process. And I think in the end, whether you pass or fail one of these, it's, you got to think about the growth, where you were, and then where you are now. Like they always say, first attempt in learning, or you fail forward,
yes,
you're not going to be the same person you were. But
you're
we kind
not.
of, you have to watch that mindset to not get in your own way and say, oh, never mind, I'm not going to try it. You just definitely got to persevere and just dive in head first, and great things will happen. And like
It's
Melissa,
what you learn
yeah,
through it. I transformed my whole classroom because of what I learned through these certifications. Like, wow, I need to try that with my kids. And because I was so excited about it and trying these new different things, I started doing it with my kids. I tried to teach my partner teachers. And no one would really listen at the time, but I still kept pushing, And then when I do have to say, my partner, Sherry Myers, like when COVID hit, she's like, Melissa, go ahead and say it. She put a post on on Facebook. She's like, go ahead and say, Melissa, I told you. I should have listened to you when you were trying to push all those things on me, flipped classroom and blended classroom. I should have listened to you because now I'm having to do it. But it made my classroom so engaging because Amy, my friend Amy, who is the CEO of Fried Technology, she goes, "Can I visit your classroom?" I'm like, "What? You want me to come in my classroom?" She came. It was like Christmas week. She goes, "I just want to come in and see what your kids are doing." She came in. She gave me the best compliment ever. She stayed in for a while. She talked to my kids, and that's when I was doing blended learning with my classroom. And so I had students working in stations. I had a group. I was walking around. They were doing digital learning, and then traditional. So it was just amazing, and I was so happy that she came in and experienced that, because I thought, am I doing this right? I questioned myself. And when she talked to me and then she talked to my principal, I was like, I guess I am doing it right. It was like amazing to have someone like confirm what you were doing, because no one really understood what I was trying to do, but she did, and that kind of pushed me even further to keep going.
Yeah, and I think that like you said, when somebody validates your work and they
Mhm.
see they get it, and oftentimes is the case, and we got to be real, sometimes people don't see where we're going because we're thinking that far ahead, or it may be something that may be out of their own comfort zone, but we see the vision, we have it there, but sometimes it's kind of like you have to bring them along, and you have to slowly bring them in and share that, and so they can see things through your lens. But when everything just clicks
Mm.
and they see what you're seeing, I think that right there is a win in itself as well, when you're able to not only transform your practice, but that you can bring somebody else along with you and help
Yes.
transform their thinking, because now they're like, oh, I never saw things that way. And then slowly things begin to change and things begin to evolve in a positive way. And now everybody's, slowly, seeing that vision. And I think that that's something that's wonderful and amazing. So
Your
definitely
tribe
great.
is going to push you. Yep, your
Yep.
tribe is going to push you, and they
And
do.
I'm so glad, Melissa, you said that, it's not just about the badges, and it's not just about the exam. For me, the most fearful part was doing the exam, but it's about the opportunities that come after you've done those. After you've achieved those, you don't realize until you've done it, the doors that open up for you. And I think that's the most important thing about them.
You
Yeah.
are how much you grow and what you transfer to your students, or how you become this like sharing your story, like you want to get teachers excited about it. That's what I did at the school where I was instructional technologist. I shared like my journey and like how it made me change and do things different, and I started getting all my teachers to take it and become certified. My principal did it. I had a friend who was a principal. They all started getting it, because once they would do it, you know how kids are, we share their story.
Yep.
I would post it on Twitter, put it on Facebook, say, look at this amazing teacher and what she did. Like, applauding them for their efforts. Just like kids, teachers love that recognition too. And they did, and it changed their classroom. And I wanted to share that with them, because what it did for me, I wanted others to experience. I didn't want to keep that secret. And I will continue to do that. And that's why I'm here tonight, because if you haven't done it or you're thinking about it, like, just go for it. I failed the first one, kept going, and didn't stop.
And you can always go to the Global GEG YouTube channel and you can watch
Yes.
all of the boot camps. That'll definitely help you be successful there, because there's a wealth of resources there in the Global GEG channel. But are you ready to learn, and are you ready to say yes to yourself? This is something that is great. And I know, Melissa, we're going to be sharing this slide deck with our audience. But if you haven't had a chance to hear Steph Rothstein's TED Talk, it is definitely the best time that, I mean, definitely inspirational. After watching that, it's just like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go. I mean, she definitely rallies you, and she makes you feel like, hey, you know what? I can totally do this. And these are the type of people and educators, innovators that are part of Global GEG that are trying to share their message and share that, hey, you know, you're not alone going through this journey. You know, we're here with you, and they just push you and inspire you to just catapult you into that level one, level two, the trainer, and thinking as far ahead as innovator and coach and things of that sort, because that's the kind of people that are serving the global GEG community and serving our educators. So, Melissa, tell us a little bit about Steph's TED Talk.
Oh gosh, when I watched that, I was like, yes, I'm ready to change the world. That's the way I felt after
Yeah.
I watched it, because she does. She just like truly spoke to me like, are you ready to leap? Are you ready to just go out there, put yourself out there? And after I watched it, I was like, yes, yes, yes. You know, when I first did the boot camp with GEG, I was like, I'm gonna be partners with Stephanie Howe, because I knew she would take the lead, and I just wanted to like sit back. I was scared of sharing my screen live. I knew Stephanie would do it, so I was just like, yep, but I wanted to participate so bad. But you just have to do it, and that was my first leap with GEG Global. You just have to do it. You cannot let it hold you back. You're going to be uncomfortable. I was talking with my friend Amy, and I told her, I was like, I don't know why I put myself in these situations. I say yes to things, and then I get so nervous, and I do it anyway. And then I asked myself, why did you just do that? And she said, I'm the same way. She goes, and they always turn out well. So you just have to do it. She's right. They do. When you just do it and you have that passion about it and you go after what you want, it's going to work. It's going to work out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about, guys.
So you'll be able to click on this video and watch it. And
yeah, and then so I just wanted to add to what Melissa had said, is just being uncomfortable. I mean, we have to learn to feel comfortable being uncomfortable, and many times that's very uncomfortable for a lot of us, because we like to feel
Right.
safe. We like to feel safe. We like to be in our comfort zone, but you know, the real growth is when you step out of that comfort zone. And I've seen it, and Melissa and I and Abbott are here to tell you that, I mean, we've gone through that. I mean, we've all had insecurities. We've all been vulnerable. We've all, you know, had those trying times where we feel that we may not be good enough to do what we do. But like Melissa said, it's like you have to rally yourself and step out and do things, because if you have that passion and it's in your heart, when you go out there and you present and you put your heart into it because it is what you absolutely believe in, trust me, it's like people are watching. And I'm going to always quote this, because if it wasn't for my fellow innovator that came in VIA 20, who I interviewed on my show, these words have stuck with me. And I shared with them today that, you know, I told them, you don't understand the impact that you had on my life, you know, when I got to interview you. And he told me this. Now I'm paraphrasing his quote because I'm not sure where he got it from, but he said, everybody is waiting for you to do that one thing that is going to motivate them to do something, whether in a positive way, to just see and say, hey, look at what Melissa did. Melissa accomplished innovator. You know what? Like, I want to do that. I want to do level one. I want to do level two. I want to do trainer. I want to do this. And I want to share my passion with the world. And I'm sure that Melissa, as well as Abid and everybody at Global GEG, at one time or another, have made an impact on one specific person that now, in a positive light, is sharing out there, sharing their passion, or have built up their confidence. And that is the importance of making those connections too, as well. People that are there to help push you to continue doing what you're doing. And because it does make a difference, it does count, and it does help make the world a better place. So, I mean, it's just something that I can't speak enough of everybody in this group because I get
Oh
to
my
see
gosh. I want to
their
hug
passion every day.
you.
I get to see their passion every day. I mean, even Abid, when I got to hear his story, I mean, I was just, oh my gosh, like I never knew, all of that. And it's just wonderful. So, guys, I mean, we definitely want to encourage you to continue your learning. But again, look at it, like Melissa said, it the badge is great. The badge will show you, like, yeah, you passed your exam, but what you gain in your
Mhm.
self-confidence, what you gain in that you feel like you've been validated, you've got the skills, you've got the confidence, you've got a group of people that are behind you, and now you feel like you can conquer the world and you just open up and you unleash your passion with the world. I mean, it is a wonderful amazing experience. And like Abbott
It
said,
is. It is.
doors and opportunities will come and they will open up for you in ways that you would have never ever thought, but you need to share your
Mhm.
passion. So it's something that's
You
amazing.
do. And don't worry how old you are. Like, it's never too late. Like, I have 3 kids and my oldest is 22 and my son just got married. And, when I first got, I was like, I'm the oldest one in the here. How is this possible? I used to be the youngest person. I'm not going to tell them how old I am. And then, I told them I gave away my age by saying I had a 22-year-old. They're like, what? But it is like, it's never too late. And age is just a number.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, I I think, like, I mean, we all consider ourselves lifelong learners, and I think
Mhm.
that I definitely will keep learning forever. And what I love is, I love learning from those that have gone before me and those that have
Mhm.
had that experience because I want to hear their stories because I know someday I may be in their shoes. Well, I mean, as far as age, but I'm going to be in their shoes as far as maybe experience, and what they've been able to share will help me overcome that because that's
Mhm.
the way that we learn. And so never
It's all
feel
about
you're
leaping.
exactly taking that leap, guys. And so, Melissa, we definitely want to
Mhm.
get all our listeners and anybody that's going to be rewatching this show, we want to help them connect. So tell us here, what can we do? What is it that we're going to ask all our viewers to do right now?
Well, we'd love for you to like go out, scroll through your Twitter, look at those educators that are doing some things in their classroom. That's what I did. I started following educators that were doing things in their classroom, and then I decided to try those things. So connect with people on Twitter. Um, Find a group, start getting in those chats, start reaching out to people. Like, don't be afraid. You have to just take that leap, like Stephanie said. Go out there, even if you're the first one to make the contact with them.
Yes.
Just say, hey, I'd really like to learn what you're doing in your classroom. Can you share? And you start sharing your ideas. Get that Twitter going. Share your ideas that you're doing with your kids in your classroom. People want to see that. And you're sharing something that someone else can try in their classroom. I was always tweeting whenever I was in the classroom, and I was like, I need to tweet that. Okay, no, I already tweeted 3. I can't share anymore. But it became like so exciting. My parents were seeing what we were doing. You just opening that door, knock down that door, open it up, let people come in, and just find those people. But we'd love for you to connect with us. We're here. We can support you. GEG Global, all the people are here that can support you as well.
Exactly. So I would recommend you start with this page that I just put the link in right there, theglobalgeg.org. And every single member here from the founding team right here, these wonderful individuals to everybody here, current leaders, we all have our Twitter handles right here. I would go ahead and just recommend that you follow, just to begin with, follow everybody here, and then look at who they follow and follow who they follow because
I
that's
did
the
that
way.
before too. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I did. Or you can just go to Twitter and under search you can type in Google EI. Oops. You'll type in Google, and this is what Micah Shippy shared with me. And you just search Google EI, and you just go down this list and you follow everybody, because everybody here is going to be doing some great things. And speaking of great things, here's Al Thomas, the gentleman that I told you about, who definitely has had such a great and positive impact on my life. And you can just follow all of these learners, right? Educators, innovators, trainers, connect with them and connect with the people that they connect with, because it is, I like to call it hashtag PLF, your personal learning family. And that's the hashtag that I use for everything. PLF, your personal learning family, who's going to be there with you, who's going to be there accessible to you when you have questions. And again, just reach out. You have to take that first step. And like I did with Micah, and then I did with Stephanie, with Steph Rothstein. And then, when I interviewed other innovators, with Leslie, with Abbott, and started making those connections. I mean, it's just been just something so wonderful and amazing. So definitely start doing that. So definitely your call to action. Also, we would like for you to tweet, and just maybe let us know what's your first step. What are you going to do first? What's one way that you're going to start building up your PLN, your PLF, and then just tag us on it. Tag Melissa, tag myself, tag Abbott, tag Global GEG, and let us know how you plan to connect. What are your goals this year to grow your personal professional learning network? Melissa?
Oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. I love listening to you all talk. It makes me, my husband used to say, like before, because I'd come up the stairs and he'd make fun of me. He's like, I'm off to change the world, because I'm be like, I'm going online. And so he would just make fun of me. But it is changing the world. Everything that you do, every connection you make. I said, I'll be in Australia today because Leslie was on the Google Meet. So it's an amazing feeling.
Oh, thank you, and of course, everybody, Melissa, thank you so much. I'm sorry, and then Melissa too. Look at her comment. Oh, guys, you guys are just amazing, And Melissa, this is the link where they can go ahead and find the presentation, correct? So I guess we can.
Yes, so
Well, let
you
me
can
go
go on
ahead
those
and
clickable spots.
yeah. So let me go ahead and drop that in here in the chat as well. And then that way they can go ahead and have a copy of this. And then they can always live with our little baby pictures there. So that'll be good. They can watch those and use those and everything and just get inspired. But you can go ahead and click on that link there. And, I don't know what else to say other than, guys, thank you so much for joining us here today and just being part of this great session that Melissa and our goal, and then, was to inspire you. And then, we definitely had a great inspiring visitor here with us today, joining us,
I
Abbott.
know it all started right there. He's the
Yeah.
man. And
And
if everybody,
Abbott,
all the other people were on here, I'd be pointing them out too.
yeah. And then Abbott is definitely one person that, like I said, is always there, who
He
has your
is.
back, and he's always willing to help. And just to tell you how much he's willing to help, I mean, they're 6 hours ahead of us here. We're here in
Mhm.
Texas time, Central Standard Time. He is 6 hours ahead in the UK, and he is here. And then all the Global GEG members that were joining us here in the chat as well, and as well as any visitors that were here for the first time or visiting, one of our broadcasts. Thank you so much. And Melissa, any parting words for everybody?
Just take that leap. Don't be afraid. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Abid, also, any parting words, my friend?
Just share and celebrate and connect with as many people as you can, and yeah, you'll find so many doors open up for you, and the more people you connect with, the more wonderful it just becomes, just to get through the day. Yeah, just connect and develop that PLN and PLF.
There you go. Well, guys, that's our time. Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you guys get inspired. If you do, please make sure that you go and visit the Global GEG channel on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the little bell also as well to get notifications, because there's constant material that is being put up there by wonderful, passionate teachers, educators, innovators, trainers, all sorts of just amazing, innovative people that want to share their passion with you. So make sure that you subscribe to that channel, follow us all on Twitter, and just drop us a line at any time. We're always willing to help. And again, like I always said, if we may not know the answer, we will definitely connect you with someone who does. All right, guys? So thank you so much.
That's right.
Appreciate you guys. Everybody
Bye.
wave goodbye. Y'all take care.
Thank you so much for coming to today's Global GEG presentation. Make sure you go to our website at globalgeg.org to find more information and ways to connect with us. One way you can connect with us is going to the website and joining our Google group. This will allow you to get a weekly email about upcoming events that Global GEG is hosting. Don't forget, you can share this recording with other educators or revisit it at any time at the same YouTube link. If you need a certificate of attendance, make sure you fill out the feedback form. Thank you again for joining us at Global GEG.